book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
You know, you ever read the Bible before? You know what the Israelites are? They're God's chosen people, right? The Israelites today would be the black Hispanics and Native Americans, right?
Right.
Now, y'all be African Americans, y'all right here trying to do. That's right. Listen to this.
Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
Right, so most I said you guys are special. The Israelites. Who can cook better than you? Which other race? Who can dance better than you? Where you from? You don't need this way. But this is just for this side of the world. The Western Hemisphere? Yeah. That's what this side of it. But our people are scattered all over the world. Right? I'm going to give you a reason why you scattered like that. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Listen up real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15.
Get up!
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now this is Moses talking to the Israelites, saying if you do not listen to the Most High God, this is what's going to happen.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
If you do not keep the commandments of the Most High, you're going
that all these curses,
all these what?
All these curses,
All these good things.
all these curses
Are going to what?
shall
come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if we do not keep the commandments, all these curses are going to come upon one nation of people. All Hispanics and Native Americans. And that's why you see us in this condition that we're on today. Wherever you go around the world, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're at the bottom of society. Whatever city you go to, LA, Detroit, Chicago, you from Cameroon, what's going on over there? Aren't they? It's hectic over there, right? Right, so that's the reason why we're in this condition right now. We broke the commandments of the Most High God as well. What are we? Huh? What are we? What did I say we were? Israelites, that's right. Now, as the Israelites, we got commandments we got to keep, right? Y'all want to make it to the kingdom of heaven? You do? All right, Matthew 19. I'm going to show y'all how to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Give me some words.
Book of Matthew,
Let me show y'all something real quick. Listen up.
19 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
And behold, one came and said unto him,
Now, y'all know Christ, right? All right. We're going to get into what he looks. What do y'all think he looks like, first? Listen. He's a white man. She said, who knows? She said he's white. Now listen, if Christ be an Israelite, right? Christ be an Israelite. Now he's saying that the tribe of Judah be an American flag, right? You think he's going to look different from his people? No? Give me that revelation.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 13.
Now,
Bring it out.
This is a description of Christ right here, okay? Listen up.
And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
Right.
clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Right, so Christ had a long garment on, right? I don't know if you got a picture of it, but he had a long garment down to the feet. Going like this right here. Y'all see this? This is basically essentially what he was wearing.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Now Christ, his hair was white like wool. What people got woolly hair in his hair? Like nappy hair. What you say? Black people. Keep going.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now, that's two strikes right there. This man does not have woolly hair, nor does he have white hair, nor his eyes white. I mean, his eyes red. Because this is not Christ right here. This is a lie that they put out to deceive y'all because they know who you guys are.
That's right.
They know you guys chosen people. They know you the Israelites. But they have to keep you in this lower state so you don't rise no more. That's right. Keep going.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now it's talking about the color of his body. Read that again.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? B-R-A-S-S. Like bronze, what color? Brown, brownish? Keep going. You got a pen? All right, keep going.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now we're going to see the complexion. There's different shades of brown, right? You got light people that lighter than me, I'm darker. You know, keep going.
As if they burn in a furnace.
Read it again.
As
If they burn in a furnace.
They said that Christ's skin was so dark, it looked like he got burned alive in the furnace.
That's right.
You would be a black man, right? Walking around today.
Right.
So you got to erase this image from our minds right here. And remember that you're the Israelites. You're not black. What is black? Just a color. Right? But with the Israelites, we got a rich heritage.
That's right.
It's in the Bible, right? Now, I asked you if you want to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Let me ask you, how do you make it first? If you want to get there, you got to know how to get there, right? All right, so I want y'all to tell me how you're going to get there.
You have to abide to the Ten Commandments, right?
Abide to the Ten Commandments. Sister, what if I told you, well, you're right. There's more than 10 commandments. There's about 613, even more than that. Right. But I'm gonna show you what Christ said, all right? Then I'm gonna give y'all a couple commandments, because I know y'all kind of busy. But let's listen to this real quick.
Matthew 19 and verse 16.
Get up.
And behold, one came unto and said unto him, Good master,
Now someone's coming on to Christ and asking him a question.
what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
So how do I make it to the kingdom of heaven is what he's asking.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
Right.
There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life,
If you want to make it to the kingdom of heaven,
keep the commandments.
do what?
Keep the commandments.
So we got to keep the commandments if you want to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Y'all know any commandments? Yeah, there you go, sister. That's one. That's one. Now, if you want to make it to the kingdom, you got to know the commandments, right? So y'all going to stay for like 3 commandments? Y'all going to stay? All right, I like that. Give me Leviticus. Matter of fact, give me
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 8.
Listen, this is the commandment right here. God said this. I ain't say this. It's written in the Bible.
Deuteronomy 14 and 8. Get out. And the swine, because it divided the hoof.
Now, what's swine? No, swine? Never heard of that? Swine is pig. Okay? Hebrews.
Because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud.
Right.
It is unclean unto you.
Now, a pig has the characteristics of a clean animal, but it does not digest its food.
Right.
Jump the gun. It's not eating pig. Keep going.
I thought that was a Muslim place.
Nah, it's in the Bible. They got it from the Bible. That's
Right.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
Right, you can't eat it, no can you touch that dead carcass. So no pepperoni, no bacon, no sausage. And the thing is, they have turkey bacon. You can eat that.
Right.
They got chicken bacon, they got
Beef
lamb
bacon.
bacon, they got beef bacon. They got all different substitutes, so you don't have to be in sin. If you want to make it to the kingdom.
Right.
But if you don't, you continue in sin and be destroyed.
Verse 9. These you shall eat of all that are in the waters.
Now we about to go into the water. All right, go.
All that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Now, everything in the water that has fins and scales, like what? What in the water has fins and scales? Fish. There you go, sis. Keep going.
And whatsoever hath not fins and scales,
So now, whatever doesn't have fins and scales, you going?
ye may not eat.
What in the water does not have fins and scales? We deal with him a lot. Lobster. What else? Shrimp. What else? Oysters, like shrimp, crab, lobsters, oysters. Everything, catfish, everything that does not have fins.
Catfish don't got fins.
They don't have scales.
Right.
So remember, fins and scales. If it does not have fins and scales, you can't eat it. Right. We trying to make it to the kingdom of heaven, right? Now listen, you got 1 commandment so far, right? That was 2 right there, basically. It's basically 1. That's the dietary. I'm gonna give you another one though. Listen.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5.
Now this is another commandment right here. If you want to make it to the kingdom of heaven,
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
now listen, hey Samson, that's Satan over there. You gotta focus in. Listen, read that again.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
What do you think that means? It says the woman should not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Huh? Can't hear y'all. What do y'all think that means? Man, there you go. Sister, why you walking away? Oh, really? Hold on. I thought y'all said y'all trying to make it to the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Y'all can't be offended when the commandments come out. We got to get it. Now, sister, now listen.
The woman.
For the sisters who did today, that's a testimony for y'all, man. That y'all faithful, right? And the Most High Spirit is going within you. Right. The Lord said, blessed people who not offended in you, right? Read that again.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
You cannot wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Sister, you got a dress on already. You keep it like a man. The sister, that's the name we got to start. I know you got it. You got the dress. Right, so all you got to do is put it on. Right. All right.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
I can't put on the dress. I'm going to look weird in the dress. Right. Y'all wouldn't take me serious in the dress.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Right. The Most High said you want an abomination if you do so. And like you guys said you want to make it to the kingdom. You can't do that. You got to put on dress. Y'all going to start doing that for the Most High? You going to start doing that, sister? Yeah. Now we got another. First Timothy. Bring that up.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9.
Bring it up.
In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Right, and you got to adorn yourself in modest apparel. Right? You can't be showing too much. You can't be flaunting. You can't be doing too much. Right? You got to be modest. You got to be shamefaced. And you got to be humble and meek. Right? Just like our foremothers.
With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works.
Right, you got to have the good works. It's a good work that you wear in the dress. Another good work is y'all standing up here and actually listening to the That shows
That's
you
right.
to make it to the kingdom of heaven.
Teach up.
Right. And y'all need to teach our sisters back there also. Right. The fact that they was offended and walked away that fast. They said they wanted to make it to the kingdom. How you get offended that quick? You got another commandment. I was gonna give y'all. Bring it up.
Exodus 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
Do what?
Remember the Sabbath day.
Have y'all heard of the Sabbath before? You ever heard of the Sabbath? All right, the Bible's going to explain it.
To keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor.
Now the Sabbath is the holy day of the Most High, right? In which he created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, but he rested the seventh. And he also commanded us to rest the seventh day. Now, what is the seventh day? What day is that? Not Sunday, Saturday. So Saturday, so Friday at sundown, Saturday at sundown, that's the Sabbath. That little time period right there, okay? So listen to what you got to do.
And do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
The seventh day is the Sabbath. Keep going.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
You can't do no work on the Sabbath. Right? You got to relax. You got to kick back. You got to serve the Most High. You got to read. You got to do whatever you do, but you cannot do no work. All right?
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and the earth and the sea.
Right. 6 days he made heaven and earth.
And all that in them is, and rested the seventh day.
He rested the seventh day. So that's the same reason why we got to keep the Sabbath. All right? Now we're going to give y'all these flyers. But before that, what are y'all though? Are y'all black still? Israelites?
All praises.
Israelites. All right. Now, can you give me 3 commandments I gave y'all?
Not to eat pork.
Uh-huh.
Not to eat anything in the ocean that doesn't have scales or fins.
There you go.
Dress modestly. Can't wear pants as a woman.
Right. What about you? What about you, sister?
Numbers chapter 15 verse 38.
You know.
Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Now, this is another commandment right here. You got to have fringes in the borders of your garment. You know what fringes are?
It's not like actual seeds. Like it has to be.
Have you heard about this before? Like you know a little. All right,
Fringes,
now
I know though.
but these are fringes right here. All right, these are fringes. You also sister. These are fringes right here. This is the reason why we wear them.
In the borders of their garment throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
And you gotta have a ribbon of blue on there. All the brothers got a ribbon of blue. Alright? You got different colors, you gotta have that ribbon of blue on there, alright? So when you're wearing your dress, you gotta make sure it's at the borders of your dress, alright, sister?
Right.
Keep going.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
And do what?
And do them.
So the purpose for wearing the fringes is you may look upon it and remember. It's a reminder to keep the commandments. It's a reminder not to be in sin. And whatever you think of going off, you're going to look at the fringes and say, I can't do that.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of it, right? Now, yeah, we in Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19.
Leviticus chapter. Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a
1917. That's
oh, so that-
hit that brother.
19 verse 17. Right? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Right, and you can't hate your people, okay? But what are you supposed to do?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Right, and you see your sisters back there that walked away. You guys gotta teach them what we told you today, okay? About wearing the pants, eating abominable foods, and keeping the Sabbath. Because we gotta, in order to get our people out of this condition, we have to start keeping the commandments. That's the only way we're gonna get out of these conditions.
Right.
Because we got here by breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. The only way to get out is by keeping the commandments. But before y'all leave, I want to also show y'all how we know we the Israelites. We didn't get past that one. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68 real quick.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, earlier we told you that we have curses upon us. Why? For what? Why are we cursed?
We have to go our right is here.
Right, it's here. Well, sister, I'm going to give y'all these flyers real quick, all right? I'm going to give y'all these flyers. What's going on, brother? Where you from, Ken? Huh? Yeah. Are you from Jamaica? Where? Guyana. Okay, that's West Indies. All right, so brother, you be from the top of Benjamin. All right, yeah, Israelites from the top of Benjamin. Okay, I'm from Benjamin. I'm gonna show you who else came from the top of Benjamin.
Romans chapter 11 and verse 1.
We know.
I say then, hath God cast away his people?
Now, the Most High God's chosen people are the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, it might seem like he cast his people away due to the conditions we're in right now. Read that again.
I say then,
Has
hath
God cast away his people?
What do you think? Did God cast away his people? No?
God forbid.
What?
God forbid.
Meaning hell no?
For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of
From the tribe of Benjamin.
Now, Paul is also an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Today, if he was walking the earth today, he'd be from the West Indies. Right. Just like you, man. All right, Israelite. Like do you believe that?
I can't believe unless I
That's why we out here to give you the proof, all right? I'm gonna show you, all right? Go back to Deuteronomy, all right? 28.
15.
Start at 15.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
There's something in the scriptures called prophecy, all right?
Right.
How we can determine, the Most High says things that we can determine if it's going to come to pass, all right? So the Most High said, as a people, we're going to be cursed for not keeping the commandments.
Right.
And these curses only resonate with one nation.
That's right.
Let's find out who it is.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this
so
day.
If the Israelites, this is Moses talking to the Israelites. He's saying, if you do not keep my commandments and my statutes that I command you this day, what's going to happen?
That all these curses,
All these good things.
that
All these curses.
So, brother, what did it say? All these curses. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Now, one of those curses is that we're going to be cursed in the cities. Every city you go throughout the world, which people are at the lowest estate? People on the side, right? How did your people get to Jamaica? Did they not get there on slave ships? And how they living in the cities over there? Are they living in high rises and are they rich over there? What do you say? They're not, right? You can resonate with that curse right there.
Pardon me?
I said you can resonate with that curse. You can relate to that curse right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All of us can relate to that
Right.
curse
Right.
there.
That's right.
We stay in these cities, Baltimore, all through Maryland, Chicago, Detroit, LA. Everywhere you go, our people are just like that. Why? Because the Bible says so.
That's right.
The Most High God says so.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
Now, which people were cursed in the field, brother? Turn around with Chris. Which people were cursed in the field? Who this happened to? Who that happened to? It happened to us, right? All the people on this side. Now, that's two curses right there. You can resonate with that. You can relate to that. Why? Hey, that means you resonate with what the Bible says. Everybody's supposed to be. That really,
Verse 48.
Before, one question.
Verse
Sorry. I follow all that you say, right? In fact, I recognize that before but what I can really connect is the connection from Israel, let's say from Moses' time to Africa. That
Israel
point,
to Africa?
yeah. So I understand from West Africa to present day. Right? I understand from West Africa to present day, right?
Right.
Because slaves were bought from Africa to now. But like the connection is true, all that, the curses and everything when you fall on one kind of people. Right? I can follow that.
Now, so one thing about it, it's all history.
Yeah.
In 70 AD, the Romans they came into Israel, right?
Yeah.
And we had to flee into West Africa to flee persecution.
So that's a known fact. If I Google that, I
Yes,
see that.
it's called abomination.
the abomination.
Abomination of desolation. That's exactly what it's
So
called.
we went to West Africa.
Yeah, and we fled into West Africa. Okay, and even when you go into geography, that land was called Negro land. All right, in which they're keeping Hebrew customs there also. All right, that's why we have a lot of Hebrew artifacts. You got mantles there. We got all these.
Is there any evidence like to show? Because I don't want to read the Bible. I think that there's a relationship between history and the Bible.
It is. Right.
Unless one of the historians blatantly lied. Now, is there any hard
You
evidence?
speak louder. I can't
Is
read.
there any hard evidence to show? I don't want to mention any artifacts and so on.
Slave ships is one of the artifacts right there. That's one of the biggest prophecies in the Bible. The fact that one people were carried away captive, that doesn't just happen. How can one nation take one of the mightiest people, the strongest men, and put them on slave ships? Can a white man just take you right now, just like that? Are you gonna fight? You see how strong our people are. You see all these fighters, the top wrestlers, the athletes, LeBron James. No white man can compare to that.
Right.
But it's by divine intervention that was able to happen.
Right.
For breaking these laws, right? Give me Judah 5 and 17. I'm going to show you what happens. Every single time we break the commandments, the Most High destroys us as a nation.
5 and 7.
Judah 5 and 17.
Book of Judith, chapter 5, and verse 17.
Yeah.
And whilst they sin not before their God.
Start at 15.
God. Verse 15. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed Salakia, and they destroyed by their strength all them of Esabon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country, and they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Perizzite, and the Jebusite, and the Sycamite, and all the Girgasites, and they dwelt. 17. Verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered because.
Read that again.
And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered.
And when we don't sin before the Most High, we prosper as a nation. When you read Deuteronomy 28, you start at 1 through 14, it's all the blessings that's going to happen to Israel if they keep the commandments. 15 through 68 is the curses for not keeping the commandments. All right. Now, right here, it's showing you that if we keep the commandments, we prosper. Keep going.
Right. Because the God that hateth iniquity was with them.
Right, because the Most High God hates iniquity. And when we keep our hand far from iniquity, He's going to be with us.
That's right. But when they departed from the way which He appointed them,
meant into sin,
they were destroyed in many battles.
They were what?
They
were destroyed in many battles.
When we sin, our enemies, they destroy us in many battles. Right? We get destroyed, we get led into captivity. We've been in captivity a bunch of times. Right. Starting from the Babylonians to the Medo-Persians to the Greeks to the Romans to America right now. It's a reoccurring thing throughout the Bible. When you read Judges, you read about the captivity of Israel over and over and over again for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. But once we stop, we start to prosper as a nation again.
Very sore and were led captives.
Yeah, led what?
And were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
Right. And brother, that's the same thing that is happening today. We've been led captives into a land that's not ours.
That's right.
That's a prophecy right there that came to pass. Right? Your brother wants to say something.
And the whole history of at the time of the Romans in 70 AD when they destroyed Jerusalem. And it says over about 1 billion Jews. You can find it in the book. It's a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. Right? And he also, you know what I'm saying? I got it. It's in my book, one of the front of that. Right? That resonates also in the scriptures. Right. You know what I mean? So that all that history is in that book.
Give me
on YouTube, it's called Roman Jewish Wars. Like, you type in abomination, desolation, you're probably not gonna find it.
Right.
Look up the Roman Jewish Wars.
And give me Luke 21 and 24.
Go.
Luke 21 and 24. I'm gonna show you another prophecy, kid.
Luke 21 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
And so what?
And they
They
shall
shall fall by the edge of the sword.
As a nation, we fell by the edge of the sword. Keep going.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
And that's why you see when you go to China, you see dark-skinned people with woolly hair. You go to India, you see dark-skinned people with woolly hair. You get to Europe, you see dark-skinned people with woolly hair. We scattered everywhere. Jamaica, the West Indies, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, everywhere. Have you seen there's a map that shows the like the way that the slave ships went. They came from West Africa, went all different directions, into all different places. That's a prophecy being fulfilled right there. You got the Bible on you?
Yeah.
Some more on this.
Keep going.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Right. And this is another prophecy right here. Jerusalem going to be trodden down by the Gentiles. That's why you see these people in the land. Right. They're not even the real Jews. Right. They got no correlation to the Bible at all. But they in that land and they repping your heritage and your culture.
What they said for the Jews there?
No, read that again. They said they're going to be tread down by the Gentiles because these are not Israelites. A term for a non-Israelite would be like a Gentile or a heathen. Right. So it said the heathen, they're going to be in the land. All right. That's why you see these people in there and not us. Because we were led away captive and kicked out the land, like we said in 70 AD. Yeah, you're gonna bring that up. Some more on that?
That's it. Revelation chapter 2 verse 9.
Right, listen up.
I know thy works and tribulation
And this is Christ speaking right here. He said, I know thy works and thy tribulation. Go on.
and poverty, but thou art rich.
Right.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews,
Christ said, I know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews. Because you the ones going through it. You the ones that the promises were given to you.
That's right.
But you don't even know who you are. Give me Baruch 2 and verse 1. Keep going.
The blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not,
Right.
but are the synagogue of Satan.
And these people are the synagogue of Satan.
Right.
You know, they run Hollywood. They own a lot of these buildings. They be doing all this freak stuff, man. They in charge. They literally have a home. In the land of Israel, they have gay parades over there. Right. How you got gay parades in the Holy Land? Right. That's because Israel is trodden down by the Gentiles. That's right. Give me Baruch 2 and 30. I'm gonna show you another prophecy.
Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. You know, for I knew that they would not hear me.
Now this is the Most High talking about Israel. He said, I knew they weren't gonna hear me. Why?
Because it is a stiff-necked people.
Because Israel as a whole is stiff-necked. We out here all day trying to get our people to listen. About 5 to 10, 15 people really gonna receive it. Most people not. A lot of people just gonna walk by. 99% of people just gonna walk by and say, I got things to do. I got a dinner date. It's my birthday. Trying to have fun. They got all types of excuses not to serve the Most High.
Right.
Read that again.
Baruch 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me.
And that's the reason why the Most High said, I knew they weren't going to hear me. Keep going.
Because it is a stiff-necked people.
Right.
But in the land of their captivity,
In the land of your captivity, what's going to happen?
they shall remember themselves.
That's why you see this great awakening right now. That's why you see our people waking up to who we really are. We're not black. We're just black, man. Black's the color of my pants, the shoes. What is that? There's no heritage behind black. There's no landmass called black. No language. No nothing. Keep going.
And shall know that I am the Lord their God.
Right. And this is the great awakening right now. Now our people starting to understand who we are. The Holy Spirit is finally dwelling with us to see that, look in the Bible and see ourselves.
That's a prophecy there.
That's a prophecy right there. That Israel going to wake up to who they are.
Yes. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear.
That's why the Most High is giving you those spiritual ears to hear and those eyes to see again. At a point in time, they were shut. You understand? We were shut.
I got a question. When was the beginning of this? Because I grew up born and grew up in Seventh-day Adventist, right? And there was always a point in time when I was about 14, 15, I would always question things.
Right.
And I look up the history of all these. There was this guy named William Miller. He was the founder of the Adventist Church, right? And I always think to myself, William Miller, the Adventists believe in Ellen G. White. She's white. She was considered a modern day prophet. I didn't know anything about Israelite then, and I used to tell my sisters that where were these people? These people were in the 18th and 17th century, because the Adventist Church was founded in 1744, right?
Right.
And that was the height of what? Slavery. So.
Can I say something? They do that on purpose. They created all these religions to deceive us. That's the reason why we weren't even able to read. And they got something called the slave law. Got that.
So I always ask them, my mother and my sister, did these people say anything about slavery? Did they condemn it?
Bible?
No, the founders of the Adventist Church.
Of course they're not going to condemn them.
And that was in the height of it, right?
Right. They're not going to.
When you start a movement,
They have a slave Bible in which they took out so many precepts and chapters out of the Bible. It's ridiculous. Right. They said they took out the whole.
so my question, where was this? When was this discovery, this eye-opening of Israelites?
We've always known that we was Israelites, but as a whole, our eyes have been shut. You got people like Nat Turner, who knew he was an Israelite, but it's not. The Most High has an appointed time. Right. Going to deliver you. Man, we're not going to be able to deliver ourselves. When you read Deuteronomy 28, it says that no man's going to be able to buy you, meaning no one's going to be able to redeem you out of this captivity. So Nat Turner tried, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We have the knowledge, but we're not going to be able to do it until we get right with the Most High again. So to answer your question, we've always known that we're Israelites. Certain of us knew, but as a whole, we haven't. But now, like I said, we're 30. It's the great awakening that's happening in these last days in which we're going to remember who we are. All right. me read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Now listen to this. This is going to answer your question too.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
From thy what?
From thy heritage.
But that's the curse right there. That's prophecy. You just said, when did we know about this? The Most High said, you're going to discontinue from your heritage. Keep going.
That I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Now, brother, what are we doing right now? Are we not in the land of our enemies? Is that a prophecy that this came to pass? Right. Keep going.
Serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Right.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger.
We made the Most High mad by breaking the Sabbath day, by eating all types of abomination, worshiping the idols, doing everything contrary to what he told us to do.
Which shall burn forever.
And that fire is burning till now. Well, like I said, give me verse 3.
Bring it out.
You understand what we're saying, okay?
Book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity,
And be still in our captivity. Why?
where thou hast scattered us.
And I said scattered, and it said scattered right there. Earlier I told you, be all over the earth, be everywhere. It said the children of Israel had the sand of the sea. We have a large population, we just everywhere.
For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments,
Right? For what?
according to all the iniquities of our fathers,
Be paying for the iniquities of our fathers. What's going on, number 1?
which departed from the Lord our God.
Now the brother got the book Babylon the Timbuktu, right? And this is a historical book right here.
It's by Rudolph Windsor.
Right.
Show them the front of the book.
Yeah, you were looking for historical documents and all that. This is one right here.
Oh, you have a picture?
Take a picture. I don't want this, please.
You see, just take a picture. Alright, brother, you can take a picture of that and do some research in there. Okay. Well, we gonna show you. We're gonna read that real quick.
This is Babylon, from Babylon to Timbuktu.
Bring it out.
In the year 65 BC,
Right.
the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter.
Right. So they went into Israel, and in 70 AD they had a great slaughter, which our people fled out into West Africa, fleeing that Roman persecution. And that's how we ended up in the land of West Africa. And then from there we come to all these different places, all these different countries. All right,
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
Right.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Over how much?
Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Fleeing from Roman persecution
Right.
and slavery, the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
Black Jewish slaves. And where's that sign? Turn the sign around real quick. It's another fulfillment of prophecy. Where's that sign? Public sale of slaves.
See that?
That's prophecy right there, right? Is that fulfilled? That's how we know that this thing is real, man. That's how we know that this Bible is accurate, that the spirit of it is running with us. And that we are the Israelites, because no other nation can resonate with what's coming out of the Bible.
That's right.
You understand? You got any more questions, guys? Now, how do you make it to the kingdom of heaven? So you understand you're Israelite now. You believe it now? There you go. Now, how do you make it to the kingdom of heaven?
No.
Do you know the commandments?
Talking about Sheel? His outfit?
You know.
Shall not kill on the Sabbath day.
Right.
Love thy neighbor as thyself. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Okay. Can I show you some more?
Yeah.
Did you hear when we read Leviticus about the fish and all that?
Yeah.
So what did that say?
Scale fish.
We just gonna read it again. Give me 14 and 8.
Deuteronomy 14. You want to start 8? Deuteronomy 14 and verse 8. And the swine.
Right. Brother, you know what swine is? How you doing, sister? You got 1 minute to listen real fast?
Yeah, I know what swan is. I've been listening off and on to your groups up there on Pennsylvania Avenue.
On Norton Penn?
Well, sister, you'll be an Israelite, okay?
Come.
You gotta keep the commandments. We're gonna give you this flyer, okay, sister? Just check out the YouTube channel and all that. All right, read that again.
Deuteronomy 14:8, and the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud.
Y'all know what swan is? What swan, sister?
It's like a pig.
It's a pig. Keep reading.
Yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you.
Can we have one of these?
Oh, yeah. Now, the Most High said that the pig is unclean unto us.
Yeah.
Keep reading.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh.
You should not do what?
Ye
You shall not eat of their flesh.
Sister, you eat pig?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. You're gonna have to cut that to nothing.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so what does it do to you again?
What does it do? Well, a pig does not sweat. It does not release toxins. So whatever you eat, whenever you eat a pig, you eat whatever it eats. And the pig eats anything. If you put a dead body in front of a pig, it's going to eat it. You put trash in front of a pig, it's going to eat it. Feces, dirt, it's going to eat it. And plus, it has all types of parasites. And I believe they say when you cook it, it's still, the parasites don't even die.
Right.
So that's why our people have all types of gout, right? Cancers,
Yeah, no
all types
doubt.
of diseases. Right, and you got all types of parasites and worms in your brain from the pigs that the Most High told you not to eat. So if only our people would keep the commandments, we'd be healthier.
Right.
We'd be out this captivity. We'd be in a way better state. It would be in our righteous authority.
That teach up.
So sister, what do we got to do? If the Most High said not to eat the pig, what do we got to do?
Stop eating it.
Stop eating the pig.
That's
There you go.
right.
I'm going to show you what else the Most High said not to eat.
These.
The ones with hooves.
Huh?
The animals with hooves.
Yes, there you go, sister.
Deuteronomy 14:9. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Now, brother, now we about to go into the waters. My brother, you understood that, right? No pig, no shrimp, no sausage, pepperoni, bacon, none of that. At least no pork bacon. All right, you can eat. If we read earlier, you can eat beef bacon, chicken bacon, lamb bacon. Right. All those substitutes, just not pork. Okay.
That's right.
Keep going.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Now what? Now we going into the waters. Whatever has fins and scales. What in the waters has fins and scales, sister?
What has fins and
Yeah.
scales? Just about all of them.
Fish. Not everything has fins and scales. But fish do, right?
Catfish don't.
Yeah, catfish do.
And you're not supposed to eat that.
We can't eat catfish.
Right. Because they don't have no scales to
They don't
protect.
have scales.
That's right.
And whatsoever hath not fins and scales, ye may not eat.
And whatever does not have fins and scales, we can't eat that. All right?
You said what?
Whatever does not have fins and scales, we can't eat. So no shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, octopus, calamari, crawfish, seahorse, sharks, all that. Eels.
Manatee.
Well, all that. We can't eat none of that if it does not have fins and scales. All right, sister? Now, what else? Actually, no, give it to John 15.
This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 10. If ye keep my commandments,
You what?
if
If you keep my commandments,
ye shall abide in my love,
Right.
even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Right, that's what Christ said. If you keep his commandments, matter of fact, read that again. Read that again. So we got to keep the commandments, brother. Like, give me, read that again.
John 15:10.
bring it out.
If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
We got to abide in Hawashah. In order to do that, we got to keep his commandments. Give me John 14 and 15. You got to keep the commandments, brother. But before we read that, read this.
Book of James 1 and verse 22. But Be ye doers of the word.
Be ye doers of the word.
And not hearers only.
Now, brother, you can't just be a hearer of the word, because I know you know the commandments. You told me something. But you also got to be a doer, okay? And I understand it takes time. It's a process. No, you're not going to be righteous in one day. But you got to at least put the effort in to start keeping these commandments, okay?
Deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Right. Because you can't just hear the commandments and not do it. It's like you see in the kingdom, but you know how to get there, but you just looking through the glass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not doing the things to get inside the kingdom. All right. Now we gonna bring out some more commandments. Give me Numbers 15. 30 minutes. You know about fringes, brother?
Numbers.
So what reason did you know that? Remember to keep the commandments. Now, brother, if you had fringes on, you remember that you wear fringes.
I was just getting ready, to bring that up just now.
You know what these are, too, sister? What are they for?
You gotta wear I forget, you gotta wear them on your shirt. Anything you wear, something to remind.
We gonna jog your memory right here. Okay. Bring it up. You close those, sister. You right there, sister. Bring it up.
Numbers 15:38.
Bring it out.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Right.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
Right. So we gotta keep these fringes in the borders of our garments throughout our whole generations, forever. Keep going.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
And you gotta have a ribbon of blue. All right. Keep going.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
And what?
And do them.
The reason why we wear these fringes is we look upon it and remember to keep the commandments. That's it. All right, sister.
I knew it was something to remind me of something.
Yeah. What do you got? You got to remind your sister. You said you got something to remind you?
None.
Oh, I said I knew.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Fine.
it's like,
Yeah, the
I
fringes was
thought you said you
something
got
to
something.
remind me of something.
Can I give you another commandment? Give me Deuteronomy 22:5.
Right. Bring it out.
Let me show you this.
Deuteronomy 22 verse 5.
Teach up.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Sister,
No
I know you heard this before.
Yeah, just wear pants.
So you can't wear pants. You have any dresses, sister? Are you gonna start wearing dresses?
I wear them every now and again.
Give me Psalm 119 and verse 60.
Well, I used to wear them all the time. My mother didn't even want us to wear anything but skirts and
You said you used to wear them all the time?
Yeah, because my mother, that's all she let us wear.
But that's a good thing. Your mom was helping you to keep the commandments.
Yeah, that was we was in a holiness church.
Huh?
We were in a holiness church. You couldn't wear fingernail polish and none of that.
Right, but you still got, but that's a commandment from the Most High. Right. That's a good thing that they were implementing that though. It's a good thing. But you got to start wearing it right now. We also give me Psalm 119.
Psalm 119 verse 60. I made haste.
You did what?
I made
Haste.
and delayed not to keep the commandments.
Sister, you can't delay to keep the commandments. You know it. Brother, you know the commandments. I know you know. You're a knowledgeable brother, I can tell. So we got to make haste to start keeping these commandments. Right? That's our whole point, because we going to continue to remain in this captivity until we stop breaking it. Right. And put forth the effort and start loving the Most High. Start cherishing Him and appreciating Him again. And loving Him again. The Most High does too much for us to be out here just doing what we want to do. Right. Give me Samuel. Give me 1 Samuel 12.
Well, what
Bring it out. First Samuel, chapter 12.
12 and 24.
1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 24.
Bring it out.
Only fear the Lord and serve Him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things He have done for you.
You gotta do what?
For
Consider how great things He hath done for you.
You gotta consider the great things the Most High has done for us. Give me Romans 6 and 23, because the fact that we are alive today is beautiful. The Most High has so much grace upon us.
That's right.
His grace is amazing.
Yes,
His grace
it is.
Book of Romans,
God.
chapter 6 and verse 23.
Save me.
For the wages of sin is death.
What?
Wages of sin is death.
You know, I'm 22. So I understand this truth when I was 19. So for 19 years, I was breaking the commandments. I didn't know who I was. I was doing all types of stuff, all types of abominations. And the Most High had so much grace to preserve me those 19 years for me to start keeping the commandments. Read that again. Start from Samuel. Read that Samuel.
1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
Only fear the Lord and serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he have done for you.
You got to consider the great things the Most High has done for us. You should feel obligated to serve the Most High. You should have your spirit condemning you as soon as you go off. Insisting you were about to go on a fishing trip tomorrow. And you understand that's wrong. If the brother saw you from over there, you would lean against your bike line.
Right.
You didn't even want to come over here like that. But you got to... You don't cancel. That's amazing.
All praises. All praises.
Exactly. That's part of considering what the Most High done for you. If the Most High preserved you this long,
That's right.
you got to feel obligated to it.
That's right.
You got to have that love for the Most High to say, even if I can do it, I'm not gonna do it. But you can't break the Sabbath. All right, you got to love him that way.
What about our hair?
What about your hair? What about it?
Well, we gotta have it wrapped up.
Okay, give me 1 Corinthians 11. Out of verse 3.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
Sister, when you praying, you got to have your head covered.
And it reads,
It's not necessarily mandatory 24/7 for your head to be covered, but when you praying or prophesying, you got to have your head covered. All right?
but I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua.
Right. So the head of every man is Christ, because there's an order. The Most High set up an order. All right? Go on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Go on.
And the head of Christ is Yahweh.
And the head of Christ is God. Go on.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Right. So as a man, you're not supposed to have a hat on your head. You're not supposed to have your head covered. And the words of the Lord are coming out. Right. Or when you pray, just to give reverence to the Most High. Right. In your house.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head.
Right. And you dishonor your head, which is your man, and then Christ, and then ultimately the Most High God, if you're praying with your head uncovered. As a woman. Okay? That's the reason why you have your head covered. All right? I have any more questions? We're going to show you how to pray also.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and the windows being opened in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime.
Right, and David would pray towards, so when you're praying, you want to pray, that's like Daniel. When you're praying, you want to pray towards the east, all right? Daniel prayed 3 times.
Why towards the east?
Because that's towards Jerusalem. Right? That's towards Jerusalem.
The word?
That's towards Jerusalem.
Oh.
That's the direction of Jerusalem. That's the Holy Land, all right, sister? Hey, brother. What's going on, Ken? See yourself on it? Where do you see yourself at? Yeah. Go all right on the draw now.
Thank you.
I have to have
You
it
up?
all. You know about the Israelites? You heard about it? How much? Let me show you something. Give me 14 and 2 seconds. Give me 14. Now, you said that the first thing you I'm going to give me Hebrews 7 and 14. I'm going to show you who else came from the tribe of Judah. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 2. For thou art a holy people.
Now, this is the Most High God talking to the Israelites. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself.
Most High chose the Israelites to be a special people unto himself. So that the Israelites are separated from everybody else.
That's right.
There's nobody like the Israelites, brother. No other nation can dress like you, dance like you.
Right.
Nobody got the swag like you.
Right, I know.
Why? Because you are the salt of the earth.
Right. That's right. Above all the nations that are upon the earth.
And like I just said, you above everybody else. As an Israelite. Now, brother, I'm going to show you who else was the Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
That who?
That our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Brother, what did you just say? So he said it's evident our Lord Jesus Christ sprang out of Judah also. Now, if we saying that American black is the tribe of Judah, who's this man right here? You say that Jesus Christ? When I say, so I just said the Bible just said he's from the tribe of Judah. Right. And we say that Judah is the American black, so how can that be Jesus Christ? Now let's find out. We got to find out in the Bible what he looks like. Are you going to listen? Do you want to know? All right, bring it up.
Revelation 1 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Now, Christ had a long garment down to the foot, okay? Long garment, just like this right over here. Keep going.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
He had a little belt on. Keep going.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Now, brother, which people got woolly hair on the earth? What people? Right, blacks, right? When you rub your hand through your hair, it's nappy, right? Of course, it's like
as white as snow.
It was white as snow.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Right.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now, brother, it's talking about the complexion of his body. It says his feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Orange. So what? Like a brownish. Let's see how dark it goes.
As if they burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
It said that Christ was so dark, it looked like he got burnt alive in the furnace. Who's that right there? Are you going to step on that image right there? Go step on it, man. Stomp on it a couple times.
There's a lot.
Come on, brother. You got to step on that thing for real. There you go. There you go.
All praise.
Now look, that's Caesar Borgia right there. All right. Your enemy set that up because he knows who you are, brother. He knows you're an Israelite. In order to deceive you, you have to set that image up so you could think, okay, well, Christ, the Son of Man is white. Jesus Christ is white. And then they gave you another lie saying that, well, Christ is God. So by default, you believe that the white man is God. All right? That's the reason why he had to set that image up. Now, we just showed you in the Bible that Christ is a so-called black man.
Right.
All right? Well, we're going to prove to you how else we know we the Israelites. Because we can't just go off of that. Let me Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Now, brother, we just got through. We just walked up here. You know who you are? Who are you? You know you're Israelite?
No, but I just want to reveal this.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now, well, I definitely know who I am, though. Just to get you up to speed, we were showing how this is not Christ.
No way.
Right.
Fully.
There you go. The Bible said that he would be a so-called black. Now we're gonna go through the curse of Deuteronomy 28. Right. Scripture say that. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28 to show you the curses that resonate with our people and our people only. Keep going. 15. Oh, it's a lot.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
The Most High God said, if you do not listen, what's going to happen?
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
that
All these curses.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, so a bunch of curses happen to us as a people for not keeping the Most High God's commandments.
Right.
Y'all, you see our people today, brother.
I do.
How we look right now? We look blessed or cursed?
We look like we are
Ununited. That's part of the curse right there. Our people gonna be smitten in that madness and destroyed. They're gonna be hating each other. Right down verse 54.
Right. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54.
Bring it out.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Right, because our brothers, we used to love each other, man. We used to be able to sit down, see a brother walking past you, and be able to have a conversation. And now when we see each other, it's like this. Right. You don't even want to speak to each other no more. Sometimes I might see a brother and I'd be like, what's up? He don't even say nothing back.
Right.
Look, that's because our people hate each other right now. It's part of the curse of the part. It's crazy.
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
And now was very delicate. He did used to have a good relationship with your people, but now his eye gonna be evil towards his brother
and toward the wife of his bosom,
and towards your woman,
and toward the remnant of his children,
what's gonna happen?
which he shall leave.
He shall what?
Which he shall leave.
Now he gonna stay there and raise his kids.
Which he shall leave.
That's one of the curses right there. How many of our people grow up without fathers? A lot of our people do, right? That's part of the curses right there.
That's Deuteronomy there still.
It's Deuteronomy.
He's not. That's how break. That's like break the church.
Huh?
He's not going out there on the phone. It's like break.
Right, that's right. That's how you break that cycle. That's amazing, brother. I like seeing good fathers like this. See verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters,
Right,
but thou shalt not enjoy them.
right. And let me show you another one of these verses. You got a child right there. Read that again.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
Most High said you're going to have sons and daughters, but you're not going to be able to enjoy them. Why not?
For they shall go into captivity.
Because they're going to go into captivity. You've seen Birth of a Nation. You've seen Roots. You've seen Django. You've seen 12 Years a Slave. How the daughters dragged away from the mother. The mother's crying. The father's dragged away from the wife. Django, right. You see all these movements, and they all resonate with this right here. Keep going.
All thy trees and fruit of thy
Right, so that's another one of the curses right there. We can resonate with that, right? With the curse that is brought out. That our sons and daughters we're not going to be able to do, right? What about the black on black crime? What about the black on black crime? And I read you a curse saying that our people, our eyes going to be evil towards one another. That's the black on black crime right there. Permanent in our community, right? You got how many of our own? How many country artists you hear dying every single year?
See, here's the thing, though. One thing I won't say this though. People murder in proximity. So what that means is even that can break that you may see albums kill each other and look like black and black crime. Don't for 1 second think that it ain't going on proximity. So it goes on to now. However, it's more in the word that I use, I didn't say common, I said prevalent. Meaning there's a lot of it going on now amongst us. But what I'm saying is ours just get broadcasted more. But it happens among just as much as we kill each other. They do the same thing.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that we are the minority.
And that's another thing that I believe. That's another thing that I want to push back on when you say when we say the minority. That's a Jedi mind trick. Because one thing we know is white people are near extinction. That's one thing we know.
Right. That's
hold
true.
on, even with this abortion.
You can't deny the fact that if you go to Mississippi,
So
you see a
what I
bunch
mean
of white
is,
people. You go to
I
Kentucky.
think when they try to tell us that we are the minority, I never feed into that. Because if they aren't reproducing at the rate that we are, how can we be the minority when we populate more? So that's my only pushback on that. I never subscribe.
I got you. Yeah, they are dying.
They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers can be misconstrued. The statistics that they feed, they just Google it. We never been in my minority. That's my pushback.
And I understand that they are dying at a high rate. At the same time, we as a whole, as a population, we cover the whole earth. All right, we definitely the majority on the earth. But in here, this is white men. You understand that? You go to Kentucky, you go to Mississippi, you go to Boston. Mostly white people that live over there. So when you come to Baltimore, you might see a bunch of white people. Chicago, you might, in different places. But as the whole country, white people populate more than we do. Okay. But that's why I was saying. My whole point of saying that is that we the minority, but you see the amount of deaths, the amount of crime that we commit against each other. That's the reason why that happens.
So I got a question for you. So, because I understand Israelites, I don't pass subscribe to religion. My question is, at what point does it become solution-based? Because, okay, when we understand what the problem is, that we're cursed, what's the solution? Like, we curse. So how do we overcome that? Or are we going to, when we get the congregation, we come together and you tell us the word, and you're telling us like we're cursed. And some people can find that I can be discouraged. That can discourage me. So if I already feel like I'm cursed, and I'm like, well, damn, I'm condemned. So what is my question is, what's the solution?
I'm gonna show you this.
You get what I'm saying?
What we doing out here right now is the solution, bro. Waking our people up and letting them know who they are and telling them to keep the commandments. Right. Because what we telling you is that we got in this position right over here by not keeping the commandments. Right. That's why your people were chained up. That's why you see the white men of all these nations over there. The Most High God is not with us right now. Give me Isaiah 59 and start that one. Before you hold all that, but give me Isaiah 59. Let me read you something real quick.
Isaiah chapter 59 verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not short that it cannot save.
Right, the Most High's hand is not short that he can't save. He sees what's going on. He sees the oppression our people are going through. He saw the whole captivity of Israel. But what?
Neither is ear heavy that it cannot hear.
And it's not like he just can't hear your prayers because his ears are heavy. But what?
But your iniquities.
But your what?
But your iniquities
Iniquities is synonymous with sin. It's the same thing. But our sins
have separated between you and your God.
That's the reason why we still here, brother.
Right.
And the solution is to start keeping the commandments.
Right.
So if you want us to get out of this captivity, if you want a solution, you gotta know the commandments and start keeping them.
That's right.
Teach a child also.
Do you feel as though, as man, you always want to have shortcomings?
Yeah. But where we fall short, Christ is the good stuff.
That's right.
So I don't know, this way it get tricky for me because it's like, all right, we know the word, because I feel like as much as we want to preach the word, I feel like no man can ever be completely righteous. I'm just trying to, I like to deal with the logic too, because I understand it. I'm definitely picking up what you put down, but then it's like, you get what I'm saying? It's like,
I'll say this.
with knowing these things, I could go home, I could meditate, I could do good deeds. I see the homeless, I feed this, that, and other, whatever the case. But no matter, because then it contradicts what they tell us when they say no man is perfect, never to God. It's another.
Let me ask you a question. You can be righteous. Job was righteous.
Right.
The Lord was righteous.
Right.
Zacharias was righteous. Daniel was righteous.
Right.
Okay? You can, but in this flesh right now, it's hard to do so. But the Most High cares about your effort that you put forth. If you're not even trying to keep the commandments, what use is it?
Say it over time.
You got to put forth the effort to start keeping the commandments. Right. That's what the Most High cares about.
That's
He
right.
cares about your spirit also. There's something called the fruits of the spirit.
That's right.
In which you have love, you got patience, you got meekness. And if you're showing that towards your people, the Most High looks at that as a sacrifice also. Now, you talk about feeding the homeless, you talk about all these things, but those are not necessarily the commandments that the Most High gave us to keep. All right. Now, if you want the solution, I'm gonna give you some commandments. Are you willing to listen? Bring it out. All right, bring it up. Okay, give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. And now in Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Now, this is Israel. This is the Most High telling the Israelites what He requires of them. This is the solution right here, brother. You gotta listen to it.
But to fear the Lord thy God,
You gotta fear Him.
to walk in all his
You
ways,
gotta walk in His ways.
and to love him,
You gotta love Him.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord.
Do what?
to keep the commandments of the Lord.
That's what the Most High requires of us, brother. Now we're gonna go to Numbers. Give me Numbers 15 and 38.
Quick, before I get out of here, if you say the commandments, 10 commandments,
No, there's more than 10 commandments.
how many is it?
Like 613, a little bit more than that.
And that's what I'm saying. Even with that, as a man, is that realistic?
Yes, it's realistic.
Have you ever met a man? You look like you might be younger than me, and I salute you for leading the charge and all that. Have you ever encountered a man as such in your life?
Well, I'm not the Most High. I can't determine what man does.
So that's what I'm saying.
Like you'll be asking me to see what my brother
No,
does.
no, I'm actually just posing logical questions.
I understand what
I
you're
think
saying.
they're fair. I'm not trying to.
I
I'm
understand.
definitely picking up what you're putting down. But it's even when you get into the wonders of the world, right? When you get deep into the world, and you talk about iniquity and things like that, some of these wonders of the world, like, and then if you bring these things to people now, people are trying to make mockery of them. How come these things aren't seen for us today or normal for us today?
Let me answer that. Give me Matthew 5 years last.
And I gotta get go to for a second.
Book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
What?
Be ye therefore perfect,
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Now, brother, the Most High, like I said earlier, the Most High wants you to at least strive for perfection. Even if you fail, it's Proverbs 6. We gonna fall, but that's why we have Christ, all right? We got Christ to sit there and pick us up every time we fall. When we fall short, Christ lifts us up, all right? That's the reason why he literally came with the scene in the first place, to lighten that burden.
Quick point, brother. You gotta hear the commandments first to
Right.
even observe to see if you're gonna be able to do them or not. You know what I'm saying? So once you hear it out, you sit there and you weigh it in the balance, and it's be done. You know, so that's
Right, and you gotta keep the precepts that apply to you.
That's right.
You gotta keep the precepts that apply to you, because you not. There's precepts on the flower of a woman. That doesn't apply to you. Right? There's precepts on tilling the land. If you don't have land, that doesn't apply to you.
That's right.
So keeping the commandments, I can keep the commandments. I can wear fringes.
Right.
I can stop eating pork.
Right.
I can keep my hair from shaving my beard. I can grow my hair.
Right.
Those are, I can stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Those are commandments we can keep. And when I say about making the effort, do the ones you can do. You got precepts.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 13.
Go.
For not the hearers of the law are just before God.
Right, and not just the hearers, because you can hear the law all day, but we got to start doing it. You ask for a solution. The solution is to hear the commandments, stay and hear the commandments, and also practice doing it. You going
But the doers of the law shall be justified.
right, so you got to start doing it.
Proverbs 24, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times.
Always perfect.
For a
Just man falleth 7 times.
So a man's going to fall sometimes. Right? A just man falls 7 times, but what?
And riseth up again.
You got to rise up again. It's part of the effort.
Hey.
If you fall to a lower sit there. You don't sit there and destroy yourself in your own count. You got to get your ass back up, start keeping the commandments, raise your friends, repent to the Most High, and come back better, come back strong. That's how it is.
But
So we got to fight on a daily basis. All these brothers will tell you about it, man. Coming this truth, it's not easy to be righteous. You got to strive for
I've been
perfection.
doing the knowledge question.
Well,
I've been doing the knowledge question.
there you go, brother. Now, I'm gonna give you. Can I give you some more knowledge on keeping the commandments?
Yeah, I'm gonna stab after this, but I definitely gotta feed my son.
But brother, you can't ask for the solution, but when we want to give you the blueprint.
I heard that part. I mean, I'm giving the input. When I'm sitting with y'all, I gotta feed my son. So I'm gonna get a little serious, but I love what y'all got going on. I respect it and all that. I wish I had more time to really chill. If I didn't have my boy, which is, I love the fact that I got my son and they were raining me on to really come to work and all that. But I can't really, I'm gonna get low. But I love the fact that
Let me just give you 2 commandments. 2. All right. Numbers 15 and 38. Give me 11. Give me
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, and verse 8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud.
My brother, what's wrong?
well, I ain't ate pork. That's why in about 20 years. So I'm doing it. I'm putting forth that. I check off that list. I'm doing good there. I ain't ate the swine in about 20. I'm 42. About 20 of them things. I'm damn sure doing good there.
There you
So
go.
I'm holding one commandment. What's the next one?
See that?
I'm doing good, goddamn. What's the next one?
Like this.
I'm holding one of them. Righteous. Let me get the road to righteous.
Right.
Listen.
That's it.
It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh,
You understand? We can't eat that.
nor touch their dead carcass.
You can't touch it.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters.
Now we going into the waters. We going.
All that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Right. You can only eat the things out of the waters that have fins and scales. All right.
And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat.
Whatever does not have fins and scales, you can't eat that.
It is unclean unto you.
Now, brother, what in the water does not have fins and scales?
They say you done the
See the balance? You see that? You try to be righteous. In one breath, I'm being righteous. Now this is my shortcoming. Because I definitely like me a steamed jumbo, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to find it. Hey, man, but I'm going to be honest with you, Chad. What's your name? Michael? Hey, peace be upon you, man. Hey, it's really nice to meet you. How old are you, man? Hey, I'm impressed, G. Like, you're really the one. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you built for it, shorty. My daughter 22. You born 1999?
No.
Yeah, well, my daughter born, she be 23 in 99. Like, it's a pleasure to meet y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.
My
You
praise.
really the one, shorty. You the one. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all stay blessed, man.
All right. All right, come on. Give me Colossians 2 and 6. 4 more minutes.
Check Colossians.
I'm just going to bring out the lesson. Let's go through the spirit. 2 and 6.
Colossians. Book of Colossians, chapter 2, and verse 6.
Bring it out.
Before we go there, let's go back to 1 Samuel 12 and 24.
Bring it out.
But I want to press on that point of appreciation, man.
1 Samuel,
Having gratitude for the
Chapter
things that
12.
God has given us. Go.
and verse 24. 1 Samuel 12 and verse 24. Only fear the Lord and serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he hath done for you.
Do what?
Consider how great things he hath done for you.
Read that real quick. Isaiah 29 is done.
Isaiah,
I'm going to show you why we got to consider the great things, okay?
Isaiah 29 verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine.
They are what?
They are drunken, but not with wine.
Now, what are they drunk with? Keep going.
They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep.
Now, the Most High has poured out upon a lot of our people the spirit of deep sleep. But the fact that you're able to receive this truth, that's a blessing right there.
Right.
The fact that you're able to understand this truth, that's amazing. That's a blessing. We got to start understanding that we got to start showing gratitude to the Most High for that.
That's right.
Everybody has not been given what you've been given.
That's right.
Sister, you came out, you still remember a lot of the things the brothers taught you. You know about the Sabbath day, you know you're Israelite, you remember Esau's name. Brother, you know who you are too. Right? That's a blessing right there. Yeah.
And have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered.
And a lot of our people, their eyes are closed right here. Right now. The Most High said he's going to only deliver 1/3 of the nation. Now people are descending to see that's a lot of people that's going to be put to death. Right. And the Most High is giving you a chance at life. A chance to rule the next kingdom to come. You understand? So that's why we got to start taking it serious.
How do you become a part of Israelite?
How do you become a part of that?
Like
congregation?
So I'm speaking from. Remember now, I grew up in the church, right? I'm speaking from coming out of there, out here. Right. To be part of them, you gotta be baptized. You guys believe in baptism?
We believe in baptism. Believe through the word. You believe in baptism. You got to be cleansed through the word, though. Not just being dumped in water.
Matthew chapter 3 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
I indeed baptize you with water
Right, so that was John's custom that he would baptize with water.
unto repentance. But he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear.
He's talking about Christ. Right.
He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost and with fire.
He's going to baptize you with the Holy Ghost through the word. When that word starts to resonate with you, that's when you become baptized. Give me Matthew 18 and verse 1.
Teach,
Book of Matthew. Stuff.
18 and verse 1, 3.
Book of Matthew 18 and verse 3.
And it's the real baptism right here.
And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children.
Right, and you got to be converted through the baptism. See, a lot of people, they get baptized and they come back out the same person. Now, Christ said, read that again.
And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right, because you got to be renewed in the spirit. You become as a little child and be built up again, spiritually, in the understanding of who you are as an Israelite. That's the real baptism.
Right.
See, a lot of people are dead right now. Through the baptism of the word, we waking them up again. These are the dry bones right here.
Being baptized now,
You getting baptized right now.
Right.
But Christ himself did John the Baptist baptize.
He baptized you. He did baptize you. That was, like I said, that was his custom. But now, Yahweh Shai is leaving that Holy Spirit for you to get baptized by the word. Give me that. It's going to actually. Ephesians 5. Acts 19. Give me Ephesians. Acts 19. Give me that. What is like I was saying.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 2.
Bring it out.
He said unto them, have ye received the Holy Ghost since ye believe?
Right.
And they said unto him, we have not so much as heard whether there be any Holy Ghost. And he said unto them, unto what then were ye baptized? And they said, unto John's baptism.
Right. Because they were being dunked in water. Yeah.
Then said Paul, John verily baptized you the baptism of repentance, saying unto the people that they should believe on him which should come after him.
That person is Christ.
That is on Christ Jesus. When they heard this, they were baptized in the name of the Lord Jesus.
When they what?
When they heard this, they were baptized in the name
of the Lord Jesus.
When they heard those words, that's when they were baptized. Based off of the words that they were heard. And what I just read to you in Matthew 18 is that they were converted. Give me Romans 12. 12 on this. Yes.
Come, Ephesians 1 and verse 22. And have put all things under his feet, and gave him to be the head over all things to the church, which is his body, the fullness of him that filleth all in all. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. And it reads, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
By the word. That's how you sanctify, brother. You get renewed by your mind by listening to the words and converting to your spirit. Because I could be the same. A lot of people go to church, they're the same person. Right? They're still the same person. I know people that will go to church Sunday, and then as soon as on Monday they turn into demons. Turn into demons.
See that?
But you actually have to be renewed by the spirit, by your mind, and put away the old man, put away the old way of thinking, and once you start keeping the commandments, the spirit's really going to start resonating with you. Right? Romans 12 and 2.
Romans 12 verse 2.
We know.
And be not conformed to this world.
It's a baptism right here. Bring that up.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
You got to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Put off the way the old thoughts, the old man, and everything that the world told you how to be. You got to start serving the Most High now. That's the real baptism right there. Keep going.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
That's right.
Right, now this is from a book, bro. I'm just reading it off my phone. It's called The Dispersion of the Jews. So like the brother's going into, baptism doesn't necessarily give you salvation, right? It's a ceremonial rite, which is a physical representation of what he's going into, the spiritual baptism. And what the so-called white man would do back in the times of slavery, is they would force you to be baptized or be sold into slavery, right? This is from the Dispersion of the Jews. It says, all Israelite children below 14 years of age were torn from their parents' arms, dragged into the church, and baptized. Those under 3 years of age were given to Christians to receive a Christian education, or in other words, to be raised as slaves. Those between 3 and 10 years of age were put on board of a ship and conveyed to the newly discovered unwholesome island of St. Thomas. Those between 14 years old were sold as slaves. And then there's one more in this. It says, bear with me. It says, one more. Thousands were sold as slaves, yet prior to being sold, they were submitted to tortures, cruelties, outrages too revolting, too repulsive, too heart-rending to be narrated. Terror seized upon the native Portuguese Jews when they helplessly beheld the cruelties to which their Spanish brethren were subjected. They knew they themselves could not escape the wrath of the church much longer. So the church was grabbing them up and forcing that doctrine of baptism into our people's mind. That's why we're so inclined to be baptized with water, because it was part of the condition they did to us in slavery. Just like we're inclined to worship and serve a false image of Jesus Christ. Right. I want to make that point.
Right. You see how our people can be conformed to those different things, right? They think about baptism, but they don't care about the renewal of the mind. Our people still got the same spirit on them. They still hate their brothers. Right. The sisters, they still in the whoredom. Right. The brothers, they still demons. They still smoking weed, doing all the things that the Most High told you not to do. Why? Because they were never transformed by the Most High. Understand, Kim? Yeah, first let me give me Colossians 1:6. Right.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 6.
Matter of fact, give me Revelations 21 and verse 4. Revelation 21.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 4.
Bring it up.
And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears.
Nah, listen. Our whole purpose is coming out here is for us to get the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
This is the reward we want to receive right here. Read that from the top.
And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears.
The day when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh shall wipe away all tears. Right? You know how much pain we don't suffer in this place? You know how much anguish and tribulation we don't suffer in this place? Our people cry ourselves to sleep sometimes. Our people hate it here, man. My brother just got pulled over the other day talking about I hate this place. I got pulled over, the cop tried to give me $1,000 and some dollar fine. Luckily the judge kind of cut that thing down for me. For the Most High.
From their eyes, and there shall be no more death.
There's not going to be no more death in the kingdom. You know how many people you know that died, man? I'm tired of going to funerals. I hate going to funerals.
Right.
Seeing a dead body like that and the spirit is just gone. You just see a cold body like this. I'm tired of going to funerals. Keep going.
Neither sorrow nor crying, pain, for the former things are passed away.
That's all going to be passed away when the Most High gives you that spiritual body again, when the Most High puts you back in righteous authority and sets your people up, and you're going to be serving the Most High in righteousness and the new covenant in which He said you're not going to be sinning no more.
That's right. That's right.
It's going to be straight righteousness, enjoyment, and salvation and love.
That's right.
And with that, I want to give all praise on the go to Yahweh Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.